You're 13 the first time your chest feels sore for no reason, and you love it. Not like a pulled muscle kind of sore. No, this is different. A kind of ache that tells you something happened, that you did something, that you pushed and your body listened. It's the first time you feel like you can change something about yourself. Maybe the only thing. You remember standing in front of the mirror shirtless, flexing arms that still looked like uncooked spaghetti, thinking, one day this'll mean something. Your friends were on Xbox, you were Googling how to get shredded at home with no equipment. You did 100 push-ups a night on a thin carpet that burned your palms raw. You drank 3 protein shakes a day even though you weighed 112 pounds. You thought it was about getting strong. It wasn't. It was about not feeling weak. At school, no one noticed when you got an A, but they noticed when your shirt started fitting tighter around your arms. They noticed when you could outplank the gym teacher. You weren't a loser anymore. You were the grinder. The kid who brought chicken breast in Tupperware. The kid who skipped the party to hit back day. The kid who wore a hoodie in July to sweat more. It didn't matter that your knees ached or your elbows popped. Pain meant progress. You learned that quick. You taped your first poster of Arnold above your bed. You memorized Ziz quotes like scripture. Don't ask why I do it, ask yourself why you don't. You didn't have a six-pack yet, but you already walked like you did. Fake it till you make it, right? You started following bodybuilders like they were prophets. Greg Plitt, Ulysses Jr. David Lade. You didn't know what trend was, but you knew someday you'd be natty just like them. You told your parents you needed creatine like your life depended on it. You started timing your meals, microwaving oatmeal at 5 a.m. so you could train fasted and still hit your macros. You downloaded MyFitnessPal and logged everything. Every almond, every gram, every calorie, it became math. Perfect reps, perfect tempo, perfect splits, push, pull, legs, repeat. Your whole identity wrapped around one idea, control. You couldn't control school, or your parents fighting, or that girl ghosting you. But you could control this. The gym didn't lie to you. It didn't talk back, it just gave what you gave. And that felt safe. By 16, you were unrecognizable. Not just physically, mentally. You didn't smile in photos anymore. You stopped eating with your family. You carried protein powder in Ziploc bags like some kind of powdered gospel. You started calling rest days mental battles. You trained sick, trained tired, trained through sprains. Because missing a lift felt like losing a part of yourself. You'd rather puke mid-set than skip one. People clapped for your discipline. They had no idea it was a cage you built yourself. You remember flexing in the bathroom after a PR? Chest heaving, sweat dripping, and for half a second, just half, you liked what you saw. But by the time you got back to the locker room, you were already picking apart your triceps. Already planning tomorrow's split. Already thinking about the kid on TikTok who benched more than you. You didn't realize it yet, but the thing you thought would save you had already started eating you alive. The pump was never going to be enough, because the hole you were trying to fill wasn't physical. And no matter how heavy you lifted, it was never going to feel light again. It starts as a routine, then it becomes a religion. You wake up, weigh yourself, look in the mirror, and decide what kind of person you are today based on the number and the reflection. Too heavy? You're soft. Too light? You're small. Too flat? You didn't eat right. Too full? You're bloated trash. The scale doesn't lie, and the mirror never shuts up. Your body becomes your only honest friend. It never sugarcoats, it just shows you the truth. And when the truth hurts, you punish it. Harder lifts, fewer carbs, more reps, less sleep. You learn to live in a constant state of micro-recovery. Always sore, always inflamed. But that's the point, isn't it? You're building something out of pain. You're turning trauma into tissue. You don't cry anymore. You train. You don't talk it out, you deadlift. Anger, use it, break up, bulk through it. Lonely? Go train legs until your vision goes static. You don't have emotions. You have macros. At first it works. You get lean. You get hard. You get compliments. People ask if you're on something. You laugh. Inside, you're not flattered, you're insulted. Because they don't see the hours, the measuring, the discipline. They don't know you haven't eaten a real dessert in 2 years. They don't know you've ghosted your own birthday because it fell on a rest day. They don't know how deep it goes. You don't lift because you love your body. You lift because you don't trust it. You don't eat clean because you enjoy it. You eat clean because food became math. A formula, a ritual, break it, and you're a failure. You used to be the kid who trained because he loved it. Now, you're the guy who trains because if he doesn't, he feels worthless. You hide that part. You smile when people ask for your routine. You post progress pics with captions like, "Stay hungry." But you haven't felt real hunger in months. You eat by the clock, you drink water until you're nauseous just to stay full. And when your gut swells, you blame the sodium, not the shame. Every missed rep feels like a personality flaw. Every skipped session feels like moral collapse. You train even when your body says no. Because if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And someone out there is doing more than you. Right now, this second, and they're coming. That's what keeps you up at night. The fear that all this effort isn't enough, that someone prettier, stronger, freakier is around the corner. That they'll post one transformation video and make you obsolete. You've built this version of yourself so carefully. Every vein, every cut, every fiber tailored to scream, "I am worth something!" But deep down you know, it's still not enough. You're not training for progress anymore. You're training so you don't slip, so you don't fade. You used to chase gains, now you chase maintenance. Now you train not for the future, but to hold the line against your own decay. Because you know the minute you stop, it all starts unraveling. You don't say that part out loud. You just log your food, you just ice your joints, you just chase the next pump like it still means something. And the crazy thing, it still does. Because for all the chaos outside, the doubt, the noise, the stress, your body still listens, it still answers when nothing else does. And sometimes, when you're under the bar, gripping cold steel and shaking under weight you have no business lifting, you feel it. That brief flicker of power. Like you matter again. Like you're in control again. Even if it's killing you slowly, you look how you always wanted to look. People double take now. You catch your reflection and it doesn't disgust you anymore. Not right away, at least. You've got the delts, the veins, the lines. Shirts don't fit right. People ask what you're on. Strangers in the gym wait till you're done with the machine just to ask how long you've been training. You smile, say a while, and move on. They don't see it. They don't see the cost. They don't see the 3 alarms you set to eat through the night during your bulk. The gut issues from years of artificial sweeteners and sugar-free syrup. The caffeine tolerance that makes 3 scoops of pre feel like a glass of water. The insomnia, the anxiety, the restless leg syndrome that kicks in every cut. They don't see how your joints sound like gravel when you stand up. You train in pain now. Not soreness, pain. Your shoulder stings when you bench. Your hip locks up if you sit too long. You've got nerve damage in your wrist, but you just tape it tighter. Because that's the price. That's what it takes. The gym used to be therapy. Now it's obligation. You don't even want to be there most days. But if you miss a session, your skin starts to crawl. You can't focus. You feel like your body's melting, so you go. You always go. You smile in your progress pics, but you're lonely. Not the I should text someone kind of lonely. The kind where no one really knows you. They know the biceps, the abs, the form checks. They know the motivational captions, but they don't know how you feel empty after every session. How you sometimes sit in your car after training and wonder why none of it feels good anymore. You're not lifting to grow. You're lifting to maintain the illusion. You're not dieting for performance, you're dieting for control. You're not happy, you're just shredded. And people confuse the two so easily that you almost start to believe them. You post a side chest with the caption, "Still grinding." It gets 100 likes. But you can't remember the last time someone checked in without asking for your routine or your stack. Even your DMs feel like transactions. Bro, what's your split? What cycle are you on? What's your TRT dose? You answer politely, but inside you want to scream. Because no one asks how you're sleeping, how your digestion is, how your heart feels after that 5th cup of black coffee on an empty stomach. No one asks if you're okay, because they think the body tells the whole story. And you've done a damn good job making sure it looks like you're winning. Even as you lose yourself, rep by rep, you've reached the goal. You're the guy people want to become. You look like a god, but most days you feel like a shell. And the only thing heavier than the plates on the bar is the truth you carry in silence. You used to trust the mirror. Now you don't know what it's saying? Some mornings you look full, peeled, dialed in. Other days, flat and puffy at the same time. You check your lighting. You check your angles. You pinch your skin, flex harder, suck in. Still looks wrong. You train anyway. You've built your life around this. The meals, the lifts, the supplements, the sleep. But lately, your body isn't cooperating. Your pumps don't hit the same. Your strength has plateaued. Your digestion is wrecked. You wake up more tired than when you went to sleep. And the more you try to fix it, the more it fights back. Your shoulder pain is permanent now. You can't press overhead without grinding cartilage. Your elbows sting mid-set. Your knees don't like stairs anymore. You wear sleeves and wraps just to make it through leg day. You tell people it's just inflammation, but you know better. Your body's waving a white flag, and you're too scared to lower yours. You start shrinking, not dramatically, but you feel it. Clothes fit looser. Arms feel soft. You're not cutting, you're fading. And people notice. Bro, you still training? Are you on a deload? You lie, Say you're trying new programming. Blame stress, work, life. You don't say what you're really thinking. That maybe it's slipping away. That maybe your peak wasn't a phase. It was the summit. And now you're sliding back down. You scroll through your own feed, old progress pics, videos from your best lifts. You barely recognize yourself. That guy looked unstoppable. But you remember how broken he felt. You remember the panic attacks at night, the supplements stacked like medicine. The way your hands shook when you missed a carb timing window. That guy had abs and no peace. Now you've got neither. You go to the gym and you see them. The new wave. Kids half your age with freaky genetics blowing up in 6 months. They've got sponsors, followers, abs in the off-season. They move weights you never touched at your best. And they post twice a day with captions like beast mode activated. You feel invisible, you feel old. You try to keep up. You buy new programs, you change your split, you cycle back on, you tell yourself it's just a slump. But the truth is, it's not a phase. It's gravity. And it's pulling hard. You realize you've spent years building an identity out of repetition. Same foods, same routines, same gym. And now your body, your temple, your resume, your armor is betraying you. And you don't know who you are without it. You wonder if it was ever about the physique, or if that was just the disguise. Because the body changes, but the fear underneath, that's always been the same. The fear of being seen without the muscles. The fear of being nothing without the pump. You stare into the mirror again. Same angles, same lighting, but this time, the reflection stares back, and it doesn't smile. It just waits. You thought you'd feel proud by now. Not ripped, not strong, not lean. Proud. But there's no parade, no award for never missing a lift, no medal for sacrificing birthdays to hit macros, no trophy for staying disciplined while your friends actually lived. You've poured years into this, measured every gram, tracked every rep. You sacrificed sleep, relationships, joy, all to look like someone people admire, even if you hated the version they were admiring. And now you're just tired. The gym used to be your escape. Now it's your leash. You don't walk in excited anymore. You walk in because you have to. Because if you don't, you feel weak, like something's missing, like you've lost control. And control was the whole point. You don't even know what normal feels like anymore. You can't eat a slice of cake without picturing the macros. Can't take a rest day without guilt gnawing your insides. Can't go to the beach without posing first. Can't relax without checking if your abs still show. You're not living, you're managing an image. You start to realize that everything you built, all the muscle, all the discipline, wasn't armor. It was a mask. And now the mask is slipping. You missed weddings, skipped dates, ditched your family's vacation to stay in prep. You told yourself they'd understand. That one day, when you were done, you'd explain it all. But there is no done. There's just more. More training, more supplements, more injuries, more chasing a version of yourself you can't hold on to. Because every gain costs something else. A joint, a night of sleep, a relationship, your peace. And when the likes slow down, when the followers stop commenting, when the younger guys start pulling ahead, you feel it? That hole. The one the pump used to fill? It's still there. It never left. You thought muscle would fix the way you see yourself? It didn't. It just gave you something else to obsess over. A new illusion to keep alive. A new bar to measure your worth against. And when you step back and look at it all, the gym, the pain, the fake friends, the broken routines, you realize what you built was never sustainable. Just addictive. You don't cry. You don't break down. You just sit in the locker room, knees sore, shirt soaked, eyes blank, and you wonder how something that once gave you so much left you with so little. No legacy, no memories. Just a stiff back, inflamed joints, and a drawer full of empty supplement tubs. You gave it everything, and it gave you nothing you could hold. Not love, not peace, not rest, just a body no longer listening, and a mirror that never tells the truth. That's why it sucks to be a gym bro.